Truck it up.
Tom Cruise, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
To put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WP3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it up.
Good evening. It's Andrea Eichmann here. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm running all the controls tonight, so I'm learning. It's been a long time since I've done this. Anyway, Andrea here with People's Patriot Project. Mark and I and Frank are here tonight to bring you our weekly show and podcast called We Got Your 6 at 6. Every week we've got a guest, sometimes more than one, and then we try to bring in a new artist and share all the good and sometimes not so good things that are happening in our world. This week, we are hosting some amazing discussions with our guests, Josh Rainey and Danny Stokes of Freedom Ops, and we will have music with Caleb Bowles. It's going to be amazing, you guys. It's going to be amazing. We couldn't do this without the support of our amazing sponsors. We have got Catch 22 with Derek Iozio. Let me just pop up a little. Oh, there's so many things. Look at this. Here's the link to Catch 22. And I think we also have a graphic. This is a lot. Wow. Peterson is so amazing. He does all of this. All right. Catch 22 at Derek Iozio. Then we have Operation Texas Strong with Peggy and Bobby Kretzinger. And you guys, they are so amazing. They do all of this placement of homeless veterans in RVs. These RVs are donated to them and they just keep coming. I mean, the nicest of campers and RVs. We have also the Boho Hobos Hideaway, and this is with Lauren Iozio. She's also a member of our board, an amazing, she's an idea maker. Oh my gosh. So the Boho Hobos Hideaway is this getaway place. Oops, here we go. This one. Down in Texas, kind of on the northern mid area. It is on Airbnb if you follow the link. And you can just take some time for yourself and get away. It is beautiful. It's tucked away. It's amazing. And here's Derek, our godfather, stopping in to say hi. Thank you, Derek. I see so many of you out there. And then we have got Brian Kenzer. He is, oh my gosh, he's a sponsor. He's usually with us. He will visit with you about health, wellness, and then supporting American families and the WP3 mission by just simply shopping. Oops. Oh my gosh, here he is. Smart Living. Simply just shopping online. Use his online store. He'll help you make good selections that will match your needs and your family's needs. all the way from like home cleaners to vitamins to sleep products. That's one of my favorite. Then we have Ruck Digital. Oh my gosh, you guys, they're helping us with our website and a million other techie things. Amazing, amazing friends, helpers, members, all of it. All of it is pretty cool. Let me not forget to mention Reads Across America and Reads Across America Radio. We've partnered with Reads Across America Radio to bring WeP3 Radio, which is where you can find Caleb's music. If you can't stick around and listen here, then you can come, go to WeP3 Radio. You can just type in WeP3 Radio, by the way, and you will find it on your Google search. Then we've got Corporate Mark right here in St. Paul. Linda is the epic center of support and printing for the local Leos and firefighters, and she has become family. Oh my gosh, we can't wait to see all the things that she's creating and the things that we can do. Then we also have Brother Joe Mish, and he has got Mish. I think I just said that wrong. Mish, the Temple Massager. Look at this little handy tool. www.templemassager.com. It's that's what it is. It massages your temple. It makes you relax. It helps you sleep. If you order one and type in the code WeP3, you will get 20% off your purchase of the Temple Massager. Amazing, amazing things. I'm going to add these people to the stage because I'm kind of running out of things to say. We have got Danny Stokes. We have got Caleb Bowles. And we have got Josh Rainey all here tonight to join us on the show. So excited to have you. So excited to have everybody here. Before we get started, thank you, all of you that are here on the screen with us, to all our sponsors and our guests, and everyone listening, thank you. Before we dive into this week's show, please just take a minute to join us for this amazing version of the Star Spangled Banner with Dave Ray. Forgive me. Here we go. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take the time to stand if you are capable of standing. Out of honor and respect, please remove your covers and prepare yourself how you need to show your greatest gratitude for the amazing freedoms and liberties we have achieved under one of the most powerful symbols in the world. Please cast your attention as we respect our old glory.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's away. Oh, Satan's that star-spangled banner gave way for the land of the free. In the home of the
Patriot Pride.
And just like that, here we all are. Welcome to the
Here
show.
we go.
Minus all of Peterson's noisemakers, but here we are. There we go. It's so awesome to have you guys here. Whoosh. Did anybody else tap their toe while they were listening? I can't help it. Sometimes I feel like be proper, but oh my gosh, I like that version.
Oh, what a blessing. This is Labor Day weekend. We are so excited about our guests that we have here. And again, no apologies. This is not our normal show just because of the way technology is running for us tonight, but we're ready to rock and roll and send the message and do all the pieces because we got amazing organizations doing amazing things, and we've got amazing musicians from across the country, but today, Texas, with the one and only Caleb Bowles with us tonight. And then we've got Josh Rainey and Danny Stokes with Freedom Ops. This isn't working the way that we wanted to, and it's fine. It's great. It's grand. Andrea is in control of all of the operations of tonight, and it's still going to be amazing, no matter what.
Even
Real
so.
quick, let's well, we briefly talked about changing the format of the show, but are you ready to roll with the news, Andrea?
I can do the news. I made it fairly short because we're in a new month, and so things are kind of yes, absolutely. So we're leaving August, you guys. August is very much, which rolls right into September, Anti-Terrorism Awareness Month, just designed to keep in your brain that there's always the threat of terrorism, but then just be vigilant and then communicate any threats or fears or suspicions that you have out there throughout the month. You can look for new things, but we're looking on to September. In September, there's a focus on suicide prevention. This is in the world of military and in the world of first responders. Huge focus on the military piece because we all know what's coming up in about 11 days, right? So for the military community, it's very critical for being aware and staying aware of mental health and following the Department of Defense's designation of September as Suicide Prevention Month. We also have Josh Stein, the governor of North Carolina. He actually proclaimed September 2025 as First Responders Appreciation Month in North Carolina. He commends all to observe to all citizens. I so appreciate that. He's not alone, but that's happening this year. Also, we have our friends over at First Responder Conferences. Chris Moore led us to all. It's amazing. It's an amazing group. In Atlantic City, New Jersey, the First Responder Mental Health and Wellness Conference is next weekend, September 4th and 5th. It's a 2-day comprehensive training and networking event designed for all members of the first responder community. This includes law enforcement, fire service, EMS dispatchers, military and veterans, corrections, coroners, chaplains, retired personnel, spouses, families, healthcare professionals, professional staff, clinicians, co-responders, and others serving in public safety. So that is a huge covering of all the aspects. I was just explaining, I had some cool questions yesterday. I was at an event. It was a craft fair, and I don't know, zero crafty, but I have my Reads Across America sign, my People's Patriot Project sign, and I got to meet a ton of people that I had this question once. Well, when you say first responder, do you just mean the EMTs? Which was eye-opening to me. And I'm like, no. Leo, firefighters, EMT, dispatcher, any staff that jumps in a vehicle and rushes to an emergency, right? That's our first responders. And then really kind of that ER department as well. And then what was another question was, had to do kind of along the same line. But then I did another big push because we are wrapped up in Reads Across America because we sponsor Fort Snelling on the second Saturday of every December, putting wreaths out on those who fought for the country or signed up to fight for our country. And so it was great conversation yesterday. It was amazing seeing, learning, hearing, and then doing the event. So with that being said, I'm done with that. I want to get to our guest tonight because we've got 3 gentlemen across the top of our screen who are here to share tidbits about their service, about led them to what they do, how they do it, how they share it, what brought the music into this, and then sharing all of it with them. So, Peterson, are you wanting to talk or do you want me to keep?
Well, one of the things that we need to do real quick is we need to do our call to action. And typically I have my phone in my hand, but my phone's right there because that's what I'm broadcasting from. Granted, I've got all my screens up and I'm watching on Facebook and I'm getting ready to do some comments, but all of us have a device that we have access to. And we are ready to, like I tell our board, we are ready to be in action. We are boots on the ground. We are a working group. And I am going to ask everyone that's listening to the show tonight to take your phone and go into your texts and write or type or text, whatever you want to say it is, just checking on you. Because this is our Sector 6 segment where we are, first of all, checking ourselves, making sure that we're good to go. We're doing that battle check. We're checking our bodies. We're making sure we're in the right mental. And if we're not in the right mental, we're reaching out for an organization or reaching out to a peer that can take care and help us through the next steps. If you are in that space, you do need to, and I say you do need to, you do whatever you want to do. But we're asking you to check yourself to make sure you're capable of helping your brothers and sisters along the way. Next thing is we're going to text 6 of our buddies. Stay just checking on you, just thinking about you. Sorry, not sorry. Those relationships are a human being that relationship. And this is how we, I mean, let's face it. The greatest times of our lives as service members were those times that we spent with brothers and sisters that were like-minded of us, and we are capable of having each other's backs and having this conversation and saying, "Hey, are you okay? Hey, I'm here if you need us." That's our check 6. We're going to get some more graphics up and have things be better than just a conversation, but that is our check 6 segment. I would like to thank and welcome Frank DeMyth to our show tonight. He's going to be a regular fixture in our space. He's one of the writers that have written several anecdotes through the processes. And Frank, thank you for being here tonight. Want to do a quick intro and tell us who you are and what you're doing?
Sure. Frank Smith out here in Virginia right now. I'm an author, I've written books so far that have been published. The first one won a couple different awards, and I'm really proud of it. And my goal of writing my books is to help let that huge majority of people in our country know what our soldiers go through when they're deployed and fighting across the seas for them. And I spent 28 and a half years on active duty. And now I'm happily retired and doing nothing nowhere.
Oh, that's why we got you now.
Yep, that is how it's working right now.
I got 6 Saturdays and a Sunday every week.
That is why when I get a message from you and I'm finally out on the boat, I'm like, crap, yes, 100,000%. I'll get you the link. Because that's my day, my one day. No, we're so happy to have Frank with us because he's with us always anyway. We need him to be right here in the studio. So that is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you, Frank.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you can jump in whenever you want, and we're going to bring in, I think Danny is muted, but Caleb, let's start out with you.
All right.
Tell us about your service. What brings you here?
I was in the Marine Corps from 2003 to 2007, 3 combat tours, and then got out, started going to college down around Austin. All my friends played music, and I thought, well, I can probably write better songs than you guys. So I started writing songs, and then as a joke, I wasn't a musician at all. I was actually a professional bull rider, and so I started playing songs, and then started going with my buddies to the bar and playing them, and then it just kind of turned into a career once the bull riding was done. So now I get to travel all over the country and play songs I made up, and I've been doing it for probably about 15 years now. I've been to a couple different countries too doing it, so it's been a good time.
You did not have that hair riding bulls, brother. You did not have that hair.
You're right, I did not. This is something that this is a lot of years of neglect, man. That's what I tell everybody.
No, it looks good, brother.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I am a rodeo aficionado, and I did not know that about you, Kate.
Yep.
This is exciting stuff. I come from the rodeo capital of the world, Cody, Wyoming, and they're getting ready to shut down their rodeos this weekend because they run from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and it's a part of my life, man.
Yeah, I've been to that. I've been to that Cody.
You've been to Cody?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I saw Peterson drooling earlier. It's real.
I know. It's I used to work for the largest bull outfitter organization in the country, and just absolute. I love hearing this stuff. I'm excited, man. That's I wasn't big coming out of high school. I weighed 167, but people don't realize that they want you like less than that to be unstopped. And so I had to pretend I was a bullfighter back in the day. We can talk about this all day long. And we got other guests here. We better bring those guys in.
Right.
All right, let's hear this. Josh, you and Danny, I don't know how you guys want to play it out, who wants to speak first, but both of you, I'd like you to share what brought you into this world of, tell us about your service first, and if that played into how you got here.
Danny, go ahead, bro.
All right. Danny Stokes. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I served from 91 to 2015. I was enlisted most of that time and then did officer candidate school. My last 8 years, I was commissioned in the Signal Corps. After I left the military in 2015, I started doing some veteran empowerment events, and that's how I met my buddy and teammate, Josh Rainey. So I live in Washington State now, right outside Tacoma. I run a little event company called Freedom Ops, and our events help develop leaders. But yeah, I'm here tonight to talk about the Courage Climb, this event that me and Josh did together a couple months ago. But yeah, let's hear from Josh. Let him introduce himself.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm Josh Rainey. I'm from Oakland, Tennessee. I spent my entire Army career enlisted. I enlisted in 2002, medically retired in 2016. 5 combat tours, 3 Iraq, 2 Afghanistan. I was injured twice, downrange, and like Danny said, we met up at one of these veteran empowerment events, and we've been brothers ever since, and we just keep on rolling with it. And we'll get into more detail about how all this became about.
That's awesome. I just have to say I found Josh because I saw posts about what you guys had been doing with this last event. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great story that needs to be shared. So I'm like, please don't think I'm creepy. I just run a nonprofit. We do this show on Sundays, and I like your story and I'd like to share it on the show. And he's like, okay.
So I brought my brothers and sisters with me.
And there they are. Do you want to say their names, Josh?
Well, just a minute. Let me get. I don't pronounce her name wrong because I don't know how to pronounce some of them. Be honest with you. Give me just 1 second.
Okay.
You can go on with us. Give me just 1 second because I don't want to pronounce the name wrong.
Okay. Nope. That's all good. That's all good. You know what we'll do while he's getting that ready? Let's go. So Caleb, I did not get to talk to you about your music. I think Mark did all the music pieces, but I have 3 of your songs here. Fortunate Frown, Burial Grounds, and Beauties of War. Which one would you like to start with?
Let's do the Fortunate Frown.
Fortunate Frown.
Yeah.
Is there a story that leads up to this?
Yeah, it's kind of it's basically talking about how wonderful the VA is.
The Fortunate Frown.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Just like that, the story will tell itself.
That's right. It's open for interpretation.
Okay.
Like every song.
Okay, bear with me while I find it's in the music, Peterson, right? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. This is Caleb Bowles with Fortunate Frown. Stick with us.
Shackle me down to your hospital bed and feed me with lies and your government meds. The glow of a street fight still fresh in my head. It's been 14 years, I still wish I was dead. There's a white hall with 10 rooms, and each one is filled with a man left confused. He still wonders why society's blind. Yeah, and he's just a prisoner in his own mind. He's just a prisoner in his own mind. In irritability, are you here to stay? 'Cause every blue sky haunted by a ghost. Man, I hated that life, but shit, I miss it the most. Now I'm drowned in my skin. Right brain, left brain, won't you let me in? And if I was silent, well, I couldn't be loud. Yeah, I'm one of the few, I ain't one of the proud. I'm one of the few, I ain't one of the proud. My angry demise will seize me today, and they can't fix my problems down at the VA. They got a doctor with a story that's unlike my own. Gave me a hotline to call from my cellular phone. Solitude forever's my peace. Mountains to climb, no cars in the streets. Lay all your medicine down. There's no cure for my fortunate frown. There's no cure for my fortunate frown. So shackle me down to your hospital bed. Feed me with lies and your government meds.
Oh my goodness, that did explain absolutely everything. Yep, word for word.
Yeah.
That is very touching.
Thank you.
There's no cure for my fortunate frown. All right. I'm always looking for a line to cling on to. I saw Eric Oligschlager. He was watching earlier. He runs the Chatto Foundation. Chad was his son.
Down there in Texas.
Down there in Texas, near Austin, Round Rock area. And that was the story. They didn't have a bed for him, but just take this little cocktail till we can get you in. And
Yep.
it didn't settle well with his insides. And so while he waited for a bed, oh my gosh, it's so sad. His fiance came to show him her dress that she decided on for the wedding. And he didn't respond. He didn't answer the door. She couldn't get him. And so she called his dad, and his dad, I think, sent his best buddy over, and that was it. That was the end of that. And the bed came open on Tuesday, but because there was no Chad, his buddy, who was still out in California waiting on a bed, got a bed on Tuesday, had no idea he had just lost his brother. And that was his brother's bed that came open. It's just so terrible. Terrible. Yeah. But Eric is an amazing, amazing friend. But that story is going to hit hard on him. That's
yeah, it's a lot of people's stories, so that's just, it's unfortunate,
It's so like, I mean, I know that you got to get as many people through as you possibly can, but do you? Can you just listen to a story? Can you take a minute? Can you stop pushing all the drugs on me and just listen to me? Yeah, I did not serve. I don't have the same kinds of things that everybody here saw or heard or did, but I do listen, and That's a nasty situation. Thank you for that
So
song.
we
I
hear
appreciate it.
positive stories. We hear positive stories and we hear negative stories of the VA across the country, and it's a tough conversation. The people they hire for the VA aren't necessarily service involved or related, and so there's no relation or association to that relationship, and so that's a gigantic piece that is a struggle. And if I can count, I can't count in reality the number of veterans and service member who have been on this cocktail prescribed by the VA, by doctors. I want to say that their intent is the best, but at the same time, it just creates this whole another level of,
Yeah.
I'll call it frustration. I don't have the right answer or right word or right narrative for it, but we have brothers and sisters that are struggling to live a normal life, and they go to this place because this is the door that's open to them, and
Yep.
they're struggling with the prescription of all the pieces. And again, I I want to believe everyone is in this world that want to buy the right mind, the right piece, the right place. But listening to the stories is just like, what can we do to get our veterans back on a path that gets them healthy? And I know
Well,
all of us have opinions on this.
I'm just going to go ahead and plug something right now that's helped me out a lot. There's a program called the Boot Campaign, and they're all over the place. And it's not through the VA, but they pay for everything. They pay, to send you to these retreats, and it's got a lot to do with songwriting stuff through Zach Brown Band and stuff like that that they're sending me out to write with some pretty famous, songwriters out of Nashville. Um, and then they do other stuff too. It's not just the songwriting thing, but not everybody has this outlet. Like, this is how I get my stuff out. Uh, you know, I do it through music, and now that I don't rodeo anymore, I've found surfing and fishing is a good way to just kind of calm down and chill out. But that's just me. I mean, everybody's different. And the thing with the VA is, you know, they've got one doctor in there. You go in there and tell your story to they don't know anything about what you've been through. And they're hearing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And their first thing is like, well, take these drugs, it'll make you feel better. And I don't think that there needs to be something in place. And that's where the boot campaign comes in. You actually talk to people who've been veterans and gone through the same thing, that have, you know, training, they're psychiatrists or doctors, and they've been through the same, they've got, kind of the same story. So they understand you a little bit better. So that's worked for me, or it's working. I'm still going through the program.
That's awesome. You're
I
going
think
to
I have a
You
different
surf,
perspective on it though.
What's that?
I think
when you surf, do you wear a
me
cowboy hat?
No. No. Probably cut them off because I fall a
Can you
lot.
get it? Can you get a
me
picture of us
personally,
of that time so we can pull that? And we got to do it, man. It's
Okay, hold on, Peterson. Hold on. Okay, sorry, Josh. You were saying.
so me personally, just my personal opinion, and I've struggled with mental health going on 20 years now. And actually, last year, I I checked myself into a VA, not a VA hospital, but a PTSD program. Um, Fortunately for me, I was able to recognize where it was all leading up to, because I'd been there before. But I think it's all about us, and Danny can piggyback off this. I tend to think that when we suffer together, that's how we grow together. So doing these events and challenging ourselves physically and mentally, to me, is the key to it all.
Yeah.
Um, You can't get that by going and talking to somebody. That's just not how it works. Somebody telling you this and that, and you go to treatment, and you know they give you all these blocks of instructions to do. That works great in a controlled environment. Put that same concept out in the real world, and what boss is going to give you time to go over here and sit down for an hour and meditate when you're having a mental breakdown?
Right.
It's just not. It's just not something that can transfer over into the real world that we live in. Me personally, when I get out here and just like we did the courage climb, yeah, that's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. But look how much I grew from that moment to the end of that in 3 days. And I did it with my brothers and sisters that were willing to suffer with me. That's just my personal opinion.
No, I can agree with you on that, man, for sure.
Absolutely.
And Danny, Danny can piggyback, and Danny knows. Like, Danny is my. Let me just tell y'all, Danny is one of my biggest inspirations I have for all of this. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here today. And I love that man like he is my brother. And I've grown so much from listening to him and following him that it is unreal.
We are brothers, Josh. I love you too.
Yeah, thank you, Danny. And Josh for sharing.
But
That
you
is
see
big.
how we're able to be vulnerable like that and tell each other we love each other in a public setting. We don't hear that no more. When we get out of the service, ain't none of that no more. It's all marred by shame, guilt, sorrow, and you know everything that we got going on. Until we're brought together through one thing, and that's called suffering.
And hopefully all that support brings you through that suffering, like you said.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and into something better. Absolutely. Josh, I have these lined up from the Abbygate 2021 Abbygate attack. Do you want to say their names?
Absolutely. The 13 that were killed at Abbygate, and forgive me if I pronounce some of the names wrong. Marine Staff Sergeant Darren T. Hoover, Marine Sergeant Joanna Rosario Picardo, Marine Sergeant Nicole L.G., Marine Corporal Hunter Lopez, Marine Corporal Dagan W. Page, Marine Corporal Humberto A. Sanchez, Marine Lance Corporal David L. Espinoza, Marine Lance Corporal Jared M. Smits, Marine Lance Corporal Riley J. McCullum, Marine Lance Corporal Dylan R. Morello, Marine Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nicoy, Army Hospitalman or Navy Hospitalman Maxton W. Soviet, and Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Noss.
I just want anyone who's watching and listening to take a moment. I'm listing each name separately because I wanted them each to take their time on the screen. Please think of them. Please say their name. And thank you for sharing. Now, so Danny, maybe you can speak to this last event and talk about how that worked.
Sure. So the Courage Climb 2025 was an idea that Josh brought to me about 3 years ago, although at that time we didn't call it the Courage Climb. But Josh wanted to do a step-up challenge with the equivalent elevation gain of Mount Everest, like 29,028 feet of step-ups or box jumps. And and he reached out to me and asked, "Hey, would you help me with this?" And I said, "Of course, man. Let's put a plan together. Let's get a team Let's figure out how to do this. It's probably going to need to be relay style. That's a lot of elevation. One thing about Josh's injuries in his lower extremities is that stepping down for him or descending causes some trauma on some of the hardware that's in his leg. So we knew that coming down from the box, the plyo box or the steps or whatever we were going to use would be an issue. So we started brainstorming all kind of ideas on how to set this up. And what we landed on was, hey, let's just find a piece of terrain like a mountain or a hill, and let's just go up it however many times necessary. And then we can either ride a bicycle down or catch a ride on a vehicle. At one point, we were going to do the descent on snowmobiles. We had all kind of brainstorming. But in the end, and what the Courage Climb settled on was we climbed Cadillac Mountain, Maine, a total of 13 times, relay style, over the span of 52 hours this past May. It was on the opening weekend of Acadia National Park, which is a beautiful location right on the coast of Maine. And we shifted the elevation target from 29,000 feet, Everest, to 20,310 feet, which is the elevation of Denali. And we thought Denali or Mount McKinley, Alaska would be more appropriate as a target because that's the highest point in North America, and this is a mountain within our nation. So what began as simply an empowering event to support Josh Rainey's dream of accumulating that elevation, it kind of evolved into a memorial event. So once we did the math and knew we were going to have to climb that mountain 13 consecutive times, it was Josh's idea to memorialize the 13 heroes that paid the ultimate sacrifice during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. So for the audience that may not be aware of this Abbey Gate bombing, this happened on October 26th of 2021. The United States, we were pulling military forces out of Kabul, Afghanistan. There was a contingent pulling security at one of the gates on the Kabul airfield, and a suicide bomber detonated a blast. It killed 170 Afghans and 13 U.S., which are the names that Josh just read. So Josh, being the kind of man that seeks to serve other people and seeks to provide a sense of purpose and meaning to others, he saw the Courage Climb not as just climbing a mountain, but he wanted to actually remember those fallen heroes and hopefully convey the message to their surviving families that their sacrifice was not for nothing, and that would continue to remember them. So how we actually did it was we took cinder blocks and we painted them the color of their branch of service. So 11 of those 13 were Marines. So we used U.S. Marine Corps red for those cinder blocks, and then we put their name, each one, on the cinder block. There was one Army Sergeant, Staff Sergeant House, we painted his green, and then there was one Navy Corpsman, he got a blue one. And so in addition to those 13, we had a couple of honorable mentions, additional cinder blocks that we carried up the mountain. So every time we sent a team up the mountain, they carried a cinder block or two, and then we formed a memorial wall on the summit of Cadillac. Timed it so that the final event, 13, we would reach the summit exactly at sunrise on May the 5th, 2025. And on that final climb, all of the hikers, all of the support personnel, all of the volunteers, to include Gold Star families back home watching, participated in our closing ceremony.
That is incredible. Those were the pieces that I kept seeing on Josh's page, the climb and the blocks. And all of his posts about the 13. And I don't know that I found all the right pictures, but this looks like the cinder blocks.
Right. That's that's me in that photo. And we had 4 cinder blocks at that time. So basically, every time a team got to the summit, they would read the biography of that fallen service member and then place their cinder block on that wall that we formed. And then, meanwhile, the next team was in the chute and they were already ascending the mountain, while our support vehicle would take the team that just topped. They would take them back to our base camp. They would refit and then grab a new cinder block and then in a few hours head back up the trail.
Wow. That is amazing. That's a big feat.
The centerpiece portrait for that whole thing, we had a picture of my front yard that I did back in 2023. And we built crosses, and I had the battlefield cross up here, and I had 13 crosses with all of his picture on it. And it stayed in my yard for a couple weeks. And me and another teammate, Jeremy Charlo, on August 26, 2023, we did 13 miles, 1 mile in honor of each, and we put those crosses out up and down 64 Highway here in Oakland, Tennessee. And we read their bios out loud and obviously saluted them and went on to the next one. That centerpiece of those, the sketch that was drawn was the memorialization that we used. We had that picture drawn up to a big poster, and it was pretty cool.
That is very cool. That is incredible. Peterson, I took you off mute. I didn't know if you were saying something.
I was before, and then I just stopped talking, so it's all good.
I saw you talking. Sorry. It feels kind of fun for me to mute.
It's weird. This is weird. This is weird for me. I can't handle it. I'm struggling.
That's why I thought it would be good to mute you. I am very sorry about that. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, and it's funny, Jeremy Charlotte, Officer Jeremy Charlotte. I think I've invited him to the show before. I don't know, maybe I just asked him a question or something, that name. I don't know that I connected you together, so that's kind of cool that you are together. Okay, we're gonna save a little more for a little bit later. Caleb, I'm gonna come back to you.
All right.
So you did talk about when you came back and you went to school and then you started writing music. Is that Camp Southern Ground? Are you going to Camp Southern Ground?
Yes.
We hear rave reviews about Camp Southern Ground, and we hear amazing music that comes right out of Camp Southern Ground. It's a great. I didn't know that Zach Brown did that. I mean, everybody likes Zach Brown Band.
I didn't either. They're sending me. It's like the second week in November. I'm supposed to go.
Very cool.
Have you been there yet, Caleb?
No.
Oh my gosh, the number of people that we have in our network that have been there, it's really, so we've been blessed with the opportunity to do some events where we bring a number of veteran musicians into a space and you get to have a collab opportunity. I can't imagine it's a gift, man, and take it, run with it. Build the relationships, the number of people that will show up there, and the people in the network that we've already have. You're gonna love every part of it. And I've never even been there, but it's You should be like gee on an exponential out of this world. We can give you references to the number of people that we've known that have gone through that program and continually are going through that program. So I'm so excited for you, brother.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's November 5th through the 9th. I'm definitely going to the songwriting one, and then I think next year I'll be going to the Warrior Week or whatever at some point.
That is awesome. It's good reviews out of there. Who knew Little Chicken Fried would get? I didn't know his heart was big for the veterans, and that just touches me.
I had no idea either. You know,
Do you need a driver?
they're gonna fly me out there.
Oh heck, I can't fly.
Can I get backstage passes?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. I think we didn't. No, we haven't been to that. We've been in Nashville a few times. We'd like to work our way in. It's really weird that years ago didn't hear about Zach Brown and Southern Ground, and it's a concept that Peterson and I have talked about several times. And so on a miniature scale, we've done this where we like to put events together and then showcase musicians that have served. And we have first responders and we have veterans and current military as well, active duty military, that come and play when they can. And the first event that we did that, we flew a few musicians up from Texas, and they didn't really know each other, but had heard of each other, and we're like, good, we're gonna put you together. And then Doug Lane came from Idaho, and we stuck them all on this Airbnb, which was way more amazing than it even looked like in its ads and its pictures. And in the center of this living room was a piano. So not only were they jamming with their guitars, then now there's a piano. And I was just in awe. And Dom and BJ, weirdly, one was flying in and one was flying out almost the same time of Aloha, maybe. I can't remember exactly where they were. But Dom couldn't quite catch this chord and BJ was, I don't know, they were just watching each other, picking away and learning chords and putting it together. And it was the coolest thing. So, and then Jen Ford had come up as well. And
I know Jen very well. Yeah.
Loved Jen. She was one of our first musicians. And she said,
she lives maybe 30 minutes from me.
No, just down the road. I'm sure it's 800 miles, but it's just back there always. You Texans and your no, she did. She came up and we put her on a stage with those guys. And so what touched my heart was they're like, no, we're not. Because Peterson's like, I want you guys to figure out the order. You guys know what you play, figure out the order. And they're like, we're not doing that. We're all going on at the same time and we'll take turns. And it was so cool. And then Jen got done and she was like, you know what? Nobody has ever treated me. I've been a veteran, I've been military, and I've been a musician, and nobody has shared me into the world as the veteran that is now a musician. And she was very touched by that. And that's what we brought them here to do. And then the next day, I don't know nothing. Well, Kayla, we don't know you, but the musicians we've dealt with kind of live on their own clock. And so we had a rock the next day and we wanted them to kind of play throughout the rock. But we did have a local band, a full band playing later. Well, goodness gracious. They were like, we need this, we need that. It's our and so our musicians barely got there and started playing as warm-ups. And then the band came and they're like, we need her to get off the stage. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, then they heard Jen sing and they're like, oh, we want Jen to come. Let's have her perform with us. And she looked at him. She goes, now without my brothers, you guys have fun. And they went and rocked a couple miles.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is the way it works. And not everybody understands that. And
I've known Jen probably since just the very beginning of my music career. Honestly, I've known her for a very long time.
She's a good.
We're from the same. I mean, we're from the same area, so.
I'm gonna tag her quick in one of these shows.
We gotta do a quick Jen Ford. We look who we got here.
Yeah, that's always
we've played festivals and all kinds of stuff together. And me and Jen go way back.
That is perfect. We got a lot of her music on our radio too, so that's awesome.
That's cool.
Okay, so the two other songs that we have, which one should we do next?
Which ones you say that you had?
We've got Burial Grounds and Beauties of War.
Yeah, we could do Burial Grounds. That's a good one.
Okay. And then any story that you should introduce us to it, or?
No, I'm just leave it open for interpretation.
I love this. Absolutely love this. Oh, now I got Peterson. Help me. Where is burial grounds? Is it down below? There's not a control F in this little program, so.
All the songs should be at the top of our.
Okay, well, Caleb, I just set you up for this, and here we are. Corporate mark. I have Fortunate Frown, Beauties of War, and then it goes into Volunteer.
There's three Caleb songs at the top.
It's either one, whichever one y'all want. It doesn't matter.
I'm not going to argue with you, Peterson, but I don't see the title. So I'm going to play Beauties of War. Is there anything we need to know before we start?
Nope.
No? Okay. All right. Here we go. This is Caleb Bowles, Beauties of War.
This next song is called The Beauties of War. Everybody's out there and they're on the run, searching for angels. The angels have gone. I know they're running and they're trying to flee, yeah, hiding from the demons in me. Slavery is abolished, but I think it exists. Once you sign your name away to the government, sending you to some tussle and you don't know what for. Standing there with the blood on your hands. That's the beauties of war. Now you're back in some city nobody knows. You grew your hair longer and you wear worn out clothes. You're looked down upon like the dirt on the floor. Trust me, son, that's the beauties of war. free. Mother, hey mother, don't town and smirk, 'cause I'm trying to repent of the devil's work. And it's weighing on my mind like a #1 chore. Time cannot erase the beauties of war.
Thank you, man.
Here we go. We're back. We're back. We gotta get Peters in order. Woo. That was amazing.
No, what Caleb? Who is when you look and think about who influenced your music? Who are the artists that you kind of follow in? Not because you're your own style. I love it, but I mean, in my head, I've got some artists that I think that you are closely. But I want to hear your words.
So it's probably going to be surprising. I mean, I listen to influence wise. I mean, that's a loaded question, man, because I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. But when I was a kid, I listened to honestly, I listened to a lot of Chris Ledoux, like a lot of it, Chris Ledoux. And I listened to a lot of Grateful Dead too when I was a kid, a lot of it. So kind of like that's a wide spectrum of stuff in between all that, you know.
Did you listen to any Bob Dylan ever?
A lot of Bob Dylan, yes.
Okay. There we go.
Caleb, I
There
want to
we
hear
go.
your rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. I bet it's close to Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, could be.
You should put that out, brother.
Yeah.
It'd be a hit with that guitar.
It would be. It would be. Yeah, it did have the whole, I don't know, that was good. That was very good. I am seeing. Thank you, Terry. It's good to see you tonight. I see your message. We'll be in touch with you. We will be in touch. Let's talk about this. So Josh and Danny, what else do you need to get done? What have you got coming up? What are you working on right now? What do you guys need to get done here soon?
Danny?
Well, the group that participated in that courage climb, about 23 hikers and support people, they came away so profoundly impacted by that event that they wanted to continue the momentum. So we have a core group of team members who are working right now to establish a nonprofit organization called Freedom Ops Endeavor. And Freedom Ops Endeavor will do an annual courage climb, but also we will seek to empower any adaptive athlete, basically any person that needs a team to assist them, to empower them to achieve whatever physical challenge that they want to stack themselves up against. So basically, we're in the beginning stages of that, and as everybody knows, it's no easy task to create a new organization, a charity organization. But we're hoping to get this actually launched by early 2026. And we already have a whole bunch of events lined up for 2026 in support of that effort.
And you've been already doing events. That's like one of the biggest things is people will already know about what you are doing, what Josh is doing. And I know some of the names from your crew that were on the conversation too, and that's big. so this function I went to was at a winery. They're new owners. They're just about at their year anniversary, and he's a veteran, and she's the most supportive person. And as the only nonprofit there, because I'm not a crafter, I was there to share the word about what we do and about the wreaths across America. I just heard, in fact, this one lady, the two ladies are walking by, and I had talked to the one before, and you know how you look at things and you walk on through. And as they're walking by, the other lady came running back, and she goes, "I have to apologize. She does not trust anybody who says they're a nonprofit and they're helping veterans." And I'm like, I totally understood. And she goes, "But I do. And I just want to hear about what you do. I want to make sure you're valid. And I want to give you, a donation." I'm like, "Let me tell you about this." And honestly, she took every flyer I had on the table and was super interested. But I still was in the back of my head like, oh my gosh, I can't stand when they don't trust. But I'm a not truster. I don't just throw money at the next best thing and whoever sounds like they got a great thing. Even when we help people, we help a lot of people. And I look back and I go, and I don't understand why they needed their rent paid. What, they own businesses. They are going on trip. You know what I mean? Like, there's no judgment, but like, oh, shit, did we need to help them? Like, sometimes you even question yourself and you want to be in line with those that really need the help. And so our premise is knocking down some triggers before they become triggers, really, is kind of our premise, whether it's money, place, relationship, what's in your head, what's in your heart kind of things. And so you're on the right path. This whole starting a nonprofit is not jump in and do. It's definitely climb.
Well, we have a great team that has committed to this, and each one of us brings a little bit of baggage, some kind of an experience we've had with other veteran service organizations, and every organization out there has its own dysfunction because we're all flawed people, right? So we're trying to be very deliberate about how we structure this and about some guardrails, and we want to always stay true to the mission. That was a big part of establishing this organization, is coming up with a mission statement so that we don't drift and do something outside of what our capability or what our donors are contributing to. So we want to make sure that we have the right leaders in place to run this thing, that we have, obviously full transparency and comply with, since we're going to be a tax exempt organization, we got to, comply with legal and financial policies. So, but as I said, it's all about that human interaction, which we all need. Every person on this planet needs to be connected with some kind of family, some kind of tribe, some kind of community. And that's what many of our veterans and law enforcement people are missing when they leave service, right? So we're trying to create that environment. And we're also, when it comes to memorializing the fallen, there is a space where a lot of families have been exploited. And so we tiptoe very cautiously and very respectfully around the memories and the names of those we intend to memorialize, because we don't ever want to give the perception, and we never will exploit that family's loss for our own gains. We only say those names. We only do these difficult things and these dangerous and these dirty things in memory of those heroes, because that's what they would have been doing if they're still with us. And it's our duty to memorialize them in a fitting way.
No, that is awesome. That's, when you say that it does come too easy. Everybody wants to help a veteran, someone who has served their country, someone who has served their community. And it's way too easy to say, yep, that's what we do. We support them. Give us your money. We'll take care of them. And do you really? Yeah. So you're great. We sometimes say, and I knew that you had this starting because of our conversations online or on messaging. Sometimes we end up not having people on the show. Believe it or not, I don't think this live show podcast, that's not in our bylaws anywhere or our mission statement. This is an additive to, and their money doesn't really go into this either. But this is an additive to our mission, really, because this is how we really have come across many of the people who are looking for help. Is they see us, they see you, they may not even come to us. I'm sure Frank will be, now that he's out here, we're gonna put his face and his name out there, and he's gonna run into people and be like, oh my gosh, or he might have to answer. We all kind of take turns. Sometimes one of us might disappear while we're here, and because we're in the background, because someone actually reached out during the show. And that's why we do it. So it really does fall into our mission, not part of our statement really, but it is part of our mission. So again, fighting it before it turns into the demon that breaks somebody. And so that's our thing too. And you guys are so on the right path. That's going to be amazing. You got your boots on the ground, you got your people around the table, and you're going to be doing great things. It's much.
I want to add something to that with him. You know,
yeah, no.
The biggest thing is we want to take that momentum and drive from these events and keep that contact with our honorees so that they have that network and those capabilities to reach out in those hard times. You know, sometimes, you know, it ain't comfortable going to a loved one. Sometimes it just needs to be a stranger. You know, but the more we build those bridges, and I don't just do this for veterans. So a few years ago, back in 2020, was it, Danny? I did 146 miles in 14 days. I did 1 mile for every law enforcement officer killed in the line of duty in the U.S. in 2019. 2 months after that, I did 1 push-up for every veteran that committed suicide based off 22 a day. I did 600 a day for 14 days, 8,400 push-ups. That's just Josh. That's how I strive to control my mental health. And I think that's important when we understand that.
Absolutely. That gives you the drive, that shows your push behind everything. That's a lot of push-ups. Whew.
Well, Danny Stokes rode a tandem bicycle from Alaska all the way to South America.
Oh, serious?
How many miles was it, Danny?
13,000 miles.
Whew.
That was my decompression stop after leaving the military. I needed to walk the earth, so to speak, and do something difficult and with a high probability of failure. So, but that was a solo effort. What we're aiming to do with Freedom Ops Endeavor is empower people to do difficult challenges that require some measure of a safety net, some kind of a team component. And I really think that's the recipe for defeating suicide. And we don't really give credit to that adversary, you know, verbally or any of our literature on website or nothing like that. But that's the underlying thing that we're trying to battle. And by climbing mountains, by riding bikes across the country, or I mean, you name it, whatever the physical challenge is, that's what's going to keep people alive by them succeeding in a team environment, and then we'll live to fight another day. And then those people, through their success, will lead others to do the same types of challenges.
Yeah, I did a 60-day challenge with a group run by a retired special forces guy. And it was every day doing physical running and about 4 or 5 other things you had to do every day. And it helped me with my focus and helped me be able to get a purpose again, because I was in a bad place before I went into that. And I told him, I said, you know, you need to find somebody in the VA and you need to pitch them this program. And you need to build it so that veterans can participate. and get their sense of purpose back and their focus and get them on the right track again. Because I've come across too many folks that are just feel like they're lost, and you know, it just tears your heart out to hear them talk sometimes.
Absolutely.
I find it interesting in these events, and Andrea and I have done a couple that, you know, 10 Mile Rucks, which I'm not a gigantic fan of putting myself out there for that, but we've done it. But how to get in your head the pain, the drive is actually the solution to get you to a place where you can recognize that you've accomplished something. And so when you're talking about this mass bike ride and even these walking with these blocks, these are the service members. These are the ones that are willing to run into a burning building while others are running away, holding the hands of those taking their last breath. It's like you need the adversity to see your growth. And I don't my brain, I understand it, I get it, but just to push and challenge yourself to go to another level is the solution. And I'm in awe of what you guys are doing, and the drive and passion you guys have to go to the next step. And the fact that you're yoking yourself with like-minded people that are willing to put themselves out there to continue, in a sense, suffer to gain. That, I guess that's the way I'll put it. You're willing to suffer to gain.
We are willing to do that, brother. But I don't think that you grow without suffering. Just my personal opinion. How do you know? How do you know that you've reached your point? So if I'm willing out here and do a 150-mile ruck with 50 pounds in me, and I push through that physical and mental adversity, when life throws a challenge and my parents or something awful happens, and I'm faced with that mental adversity, guess what? I've been here before. I got the tools in my backpack that I can walk through. And sometimes it's that little reminder in the back of our heads that, hey, I've been here before. And things, it's just like being in a firefight. When you get in a firefight, it's all muscle memory. It all comes in, your training kicks in, and you revert back to it. Same thing with your mental health. It's muscle memory. That's just Josh's personal opinion.
I love this topic, and this week I went through some adversity. And again, I chatted with Andrea on a number of occasions and said, you know, sorry for this moment. I'm a 55-year-old man, and I know there's some healthier people out there doing some of the things I've done this last week. But one of the guys I served with helped me in a couple of ways here. And the other day I was kind of complaining about the space. And he looked at me and he said, can you imagine how many people who have it worse off than you do? And I was just like, thank you for sharing that with me, Chief Warrant Officer Hack. You're not wrong. And sometimes you just need to hear that. There are people that have it worse off than you. And I'm blessed beyond realizing I'm blessed. And again, having the opportunity to serve my country, my community, and just watching and seeing you, Mr. Rainey, and you, Mr. Stokes, doing the amazing things you're doing, and hearing the amazing music of Mr. Boyles, and then the amazing We Patriot team that comes here and puts this show together weekly. I'm blessed, man. I have nothing that I ever need to complain about.
Did you write that down somewhere so I can refer back? It's okay. He doesn't watch the show afterwards. He's good. He moves on. I'm kidding. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Okay, so you guys, this is amazing. This is like, and thank you, Frank, for jumping in. We're Peterson always tells me you need to talk more. So here we go. This is my week for talking more. I do want to get to. I think what we should do probably is go into Caleb's next song. And it's got the title Volunteer under it. And so we're going to see if that's what it is. And then Caleb will speak to it after the fact on this one, if that's all good with everybody. I already asked him, so it's okay with him. But we're going to do this. Caleb Bowles is up next. To be determined when we're done.
Here's a whiskey seeps through my skin. I take another pull out the bottle of sin. It's how dead men walk now. It's how a blind man sees. It's how children talk. Baby, it's how I breathe. Oh, but you know my name. It's on the tip of your tongue. And when it pierces your lips, only the darkness comes. Oh, 'cause you know my name. Black crow in the corner, speak loud for me, so that I may burn down Nashville, Tennessee. 200 miles from Memphis, but 500,000 from the king. When hell bulldozed Graceland, they killed all of my dreams. Oh, 'cause you know my name. You take a coonskin cap, oh, and the blade 12 inches long, and then you cross that line where in the sand it's drawn. Yeah, and then you yell to the heaven until you're laid in your grave. Come on and stop on by. If you get down my way, oh, 'cause you know my name. Yeah, you know my name. Oh, and it's on the tip of your tongue. it pierces your lips. Only the darkness comes.
There we go. The official title of this, Caleb, is?
The Volunteer. It's called The Volunteer. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
labeled. Didn't doubt Peterson at all. I just didn't see it on the list. So thank you. It
Yeah.
was volunteer, correctly labeled. I was even going out on your pages, and I'm like, can I tell? Can I tell? Are the words somewhere? Like, I need the words. Okay, so what do you call that? That I'm not a musician. I'm not at all, and love the guitar. That little thing that you did.
Oh, it's a slide. It's just
Slide.
a slide. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a slide. Yeah, but that's funny because that song, the version of that you played, I haven't heard it in a very. That's off a record that I did a long time ago, and I don't really. I still play it with a slide, but it doesn't sound like that anymore. So that's an old version of that. But yeah, it's just kind of. I was like, when you put that picture up, you sent me that text. I was like, well, that's an old one, but okay.
Well, I was like, I don't even know, like, if this is an album. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you.
I appreciate that song in the fact that there is a different style of guitar playing, but your voice is the instrument in that song, and it plays the song, and I just like I fell in love with that one.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Peterson, Falling in Love. Caleb, what do you have coming up? What's coming up next for you?
Oh, I've got another podcast to do on Tuesday. And then man, I'll just tell you, I'm pretty full. So yeah, another podcast to do on Tuesday. I've got a show in Mount Pleasant, Texas on September 6th. The 12th and 13th, I'll be in Oklahoma. The 19th and 20th, I'll be up around Dallas, and then the 27th, Paris. Going into October, Fredericksburg, Austin, down to Galveston, then back around the Dallas area. So I'm all over the place down here, for a little bit, and then I'll be going to.
Love it. How do you want?
Go ahead.
How do you want people to follow you?
Oh, they can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Either way. I think Instagram's getting more popular. I don't know. I'm not good with technology.
It always seems to be like whatever's next. Like,
yeah.
Because it's TikTok, and then now I go on TikTok and I'm like, this isn't what I wanted to see for
I have
sure.
no idea. They're supposed to teach us all about that marketing stuff at that deal I'm going to in November too. So maybe I'll get a little bit more insight.
Yeah, send me the slides.
For sure.
Frank wants a CD. You got a CD available?
Yeah.
I probably do somewhere.
Oh, heck yeah.
An old one.
That is Frank's. If you had it on 8-track, he could even listen to it on 8-track. I think I remember that.
Out in my garage.
Yeah.
I've got some vinyls coming out soon, so
I love vinyls. Oh, okay. I saved some. I have it's not in this room. Just tucked down where nobody will ever see it because I don't even have anything to play them on, but I have all my, I think one is Dumb Ditties from when I was a little kid, like the Monster Mash. And
oh yeah.
Heck, I got a boot.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away, like the following that vinyl really has, and like you can get out there and you can find, like, I'm blown away. and they've gotten really fancy in the design of the vinyl and the whole construction of that. We ran into a young lady in Nebraska 2 years ago that's what she does for a living and creating the vinyl product. And I was just like, I love it. But
if you have her
I mean, I don't have
information,
it.
if you have her information, send it to me because I've got an album I'm fixing to release and I'm gonna put it on vinyl too. So
Cool.
We'll definitely get that done for you, brother.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Let me just connect with. So is there anything else with the Freedom Ops and the Courage Climb? Do you promote that all over social media? Is there anything else coming up? Like, what should we be watching for?
So we have a little bit of a social media presence on Facebook and Instagram, Freedom Ops. There's also a website, freedom-ops.fit. And on the Freedom Ops website, which is the event company that I'm currently running, it's a commercial event company, but we will post updates about Freedom Ops Endeavor, which will be like the nonprofit arm once that gets launched. But I think Frank was raising his hand to maybe interject something. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was going to ask two questions if I could. First, why didn't anybody do anything out here in West by God, Virginia? And sometimes I feel like I'm the only person who lives here, for crying out loud. And then the other one was, Caleb, how long did it take you to grow that crumb catcher?
Oh man, well, I tell you, when I got out of the military, I just stopped shaving. But
I stopped before I got out.
I think I've shaved it off one time after my son was born. As I was working in the hayfield and he was a baby, and I didn't want to. I was out there, cutting hay and feeding cows like we do down here, and I had all that stuff in my beard. I didn't want to get him hay fever, so I shaved it off. Had a wider mustache going for a little bit. Looked like Wild Bill Hickok with his long hair.
Well, that would have worked real good now going through Texas and stuff.
Yeah.
Frank, did you say you're in West Virginia or Virginia?
West by God, Virginia, I'll be darned.
Whereabouts?
The Eastern Panhandle.
Wheeling?
Oh, heck no. That's up there in the cultured place. I'm in Martinsburg.
Martinsburg, okay. So you're kind of sandwiched between Maryland and
81. So if you're ever going north and south on 81, wave when you get to exit 13.
Well, we'll be skirting right past your neck of the woods
Everybody
in
does.
about a year from now. But my family are originally from Putnam County, West Virginia.
Wow, cool.
I don't have any relatives left there anymore, but growing up, every holiday was road tripping from wherever my dad was stationed back to Buffalo, West Virginia.
Yep.
Hey,
I grew
Danny,
up
Danny, do you want to mention about the Courage Climb next year? What we got? What it's all going to be tied to? About the 9/11 memorial too.
Yeah, I sure can. If that's okay.
Absolutely.
So next year will be the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, and obviously that was the incident that threw our country into the global war on terrorism. And even though I never served in fire service, I've always kind of had I felt a connection between the fire community that responded, not only in New York but at the Pentagon, and then obviously the military community that took the fight to our enemies overseas. It being the 25th anniversary, we wanted to plan something special to memorialize the fallen and to honor the heroes of that day. So Freedom Ops Endeavor, we're putting a plan together where we're going to do a 3-week-long event that starts at Boston Logan International Airport, where 2 of the aircraft were hijacked from. And then our route is going to go to Manhattan, to Ground Zero. From there, we're going to go to Newark, where the other 2 aircraft were hijacked from. After Newark, we're going to continue our route to Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where Flight 93 burned in. And then from Shanksville, we'll end the movement at the Pentagon. And we'll arrive at the Pentagon Memorial exactly on September 11th, 2026. Now, along that 600-mile route, every day there will be a designated rucking distance, a designated cycling distance, and a running distance. And then we'll have options for participants to do one of those, or they may just volunteer to help set up base camp for the night and maybe skip the actual movement. Along the way, we'll be stopping at firehouses and memorializing the fallen, as I said. We're hoping that people will snap in for a day or 2, or for the entire thing, or certainly for the final couple of days as we roll into Washington, D.C. Now, that event is going to bracket the August 26th date of the Abbey Gate bombing. And so we're going to do a little administrative pause on the 26th to conduct another courage climb, similar to what we did on Cadillac Mountain this year. But next year, we have a couple of tentative places in the state of Rhode Island, a little bit smaller of a mountain, but we're going to do relay style until we accumulate the 20,310 feet of Denali, all the while memorializing the 13 heroes from Abbey Gate. As soon as we achieve that, then we're going to go right back into the 9/11 memorial focus. So a lot of moving pieces for our 9/11 2026 memorial, and we will certainly publish details as soon as we can get that launched.
How many people do you have involved in these events?
Well, the Courage Climb this year, we had a total of 23 that were present, and now we had people that were following along, virtually, and our intent was to connect with all of the Gold Star families, but none of them actually were present. But for this 9/11 event next year, we hope to have several hundred people participate.
I think that's I don't think that's going to be a problem to get people there. Like I said, I came across Josh just on Facebook and saw all of the posting he had been doing. So, and then when you say Officer Jeremy Charlo, another one.
Yeah, Charlo was with us.
We had Earl Granville.
Yeah, we had for this year's Courage Climb, we actually had a pretty wide breadth of veterans and cops. So although Josh Rainey was our primary honoree, we had an additional honoree, a lady named Faith Breeden, who had served in the U.S. Army. Her cousin, Aaron Breeden, served in the U.S. Navy, and unfortunately, he took his life shortly after his military service. And so we memorialized him as well with a cinder block painted blue for U.S. Navy. And as Josh just said, Earl Granville, an above-the-knee amputee who just watching him struggle up that mountain and some of the bouldering that we had to do to get up a few of the vertical obstacles was, equally inspiring as it was gut-wrenching. And we had Navy veterans, we had Army veterans. Jeremy Charlo, if you know his story, survived a gunshot wound ambush, and so it was pretty incredible thing to bring all those people together, to include the volunteers that that kept us fed throughout the weekend. honorable mention goes to Miss Betsy Hutchins, Mama Bear, who ran our base camp. Her son, Corporal Andrew Hutchins, Army veteran. We memorialized him as well. He died in the service in the U.S. Army. But yeah, for next year, we'll be passing Frank. Like I said, not far from the West Virginia Panhandle. Caleb, if you're looking for someplace to for a fire to hang out around and strum your guitar, brother, we'd love to have you there. Even though you're a jarhead, we still love you.
All right, man.
I need
Every
tickets to one of
day
your
is
shows.
Marine birthday. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Danny, you guys finalize this. I normally run the Army 10 miler every year, and that's in October. But when this thing gets finalized, I'd be glad to scrap that and go to your event in September instead.
Oh,
I'll meet you around the Pentagon. I'm very familiar with that 5-sided jigsaw puzzle.
Well, we'd be honored to have you. We'll definitely stay in touch with you.
Hey, and I just want to say to all the veterans and first responders that may be struggling out there, just like what's his name was saying earlier that he kind of had some struggles this week. Talked to you, Caleb, back and forth. Here's the reality of it. You can look back on today, and those that are struggling right now, your track record through your worst days is absolutely 100%.
Amen.
You've made it through 100% of your worst days. You're still here. And guess what? Every day that you wake up and you're still on this planet, the mission's still on. We got to get at it. And that's what we're here to do. I don't ever want nobody to go down the road that I went down. I struggled on and off with it that ultimately led to an attempted suicide back in 2012. I'm still here. And this is the reason why I'm still here. What we're doing today. So, to those that may be struggling, hey man, you've made it through 100% of your worst days.
Don't let the hard days win.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh. Now Frank's got a new mission. I see it. Different training.
Yeah.
Adding to your training. There you go. There you go. Well, this was kind of a I get to put Peterson on the spot tonight because we'll do a little bit of a wrap up and final comment to add anything, any shout outs you want to do as well. And just anything inspiring that maybe you heard on the show or thought of while you were here. Think through that, and we'll put each one of you in your own moment so that you can share any closing thoughts that you have. Peterson?
I appreciate it. And it is weird being on this side of it, only in the fact that I normally get to be kind of the lead of the conversation. But I had several moments of this week where I was like struggling physically, mentally, and again, that's not my style. That's not me. That's not who I am. That's not what I do. I am a guy that punches through and goes and get them. And I reached out to the people that I said, Andrea is one of them, and I said, this is my struggle. This is where I'm at. Keeping communication open and saying, you know what, these are the areas today, this whole thing with the show. And there's a standard I live by, and I always want that standard to be the best that we can do. And today, I mean, maybe some people notice, maybe some people don't. Andrea, you did an amazing job today, and I want to say thank you. It's you can't do it all by yourself as much as I want to do it by myself all the time. And I rely on the WP3 team on a ton of stuff. There's, as I'm sitting here, conversations are coming through on the backside of some veterans that say, you know what, don't worry about us, we'll make it. And I'm like, we'll do it together. I think that's my biggest note is you need to yoke yourself with people that can carry the mission with you. And I heard that through Danny, and I heard that through Josh, and just the adaptive processes and making sure you got people that are around you. And I don't think you need to beg for that. That's the other side of this. I think there are people that are out there. I think with some of the stuff that's happened here in Minnesota over the last week and the nonsense that we deal with, and you get into the political conversation and you get into the left versus right, and whether it's not a conversation I want to get into, but we have to step up and shoulder the real stuff and point a finger, not point a finger, but take ownership in what we're able to carry. And I think we need to carry it together. So I know that seems code. I don't mean to be code, but we got this. We got this, brothers and sisters. Let's work together.
Very good. Very good. Josh we're losing him into the sunset here. Josh, do you want to share your final thoughts?
So my final thoughts is I just want to let the families of the 13 fallen heroes that were killed at Abbey Gate, we remembered them on the 26th of this past week. We mourn your loss with you. And to those wounded, we stand with you to honor your brothers and sisters lost on 26 August 2021.
And we will keep their names on our list here as well. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Danny, any final thoughts?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you, Andrea and Mark. I appreciate you bringing this onto your platform. And I think this is a great medium that you're leveraging to help those whom you care about. So keep up the good work. Caleb, man, I really enjoyed your music. Wow, it really blew me away. I went ahead and sent you a follow on Instagram. So hopefully we can stay in touch. I'd love to hear more and connect with you in person at some point. And Frank, same with you. I hope we can cross paths in person one of these days. And I guess one thing I've been thinking about since Josh mentioned it a minute ago, as far as like the mental toughness that we all need to maintain and resiliency. You know, you can't become resilient after something bad happens. That has to be developed prior. And that mental toughness is developed and trained by doing hard stuff. So if you want to live hard, you got to be hard. That's all.
I love it.
I like it. I like it a lot. Caleb, let's go to you.
I just want to thank y'all for having me on here and giving me a space to share these songs that I make up. I'm also going to plug something of my own real fast. I am the president and founder of a military and first responder motorcycle club called Cowboys of War. And we're not an outlaw club. We are a motorcycle club. We're just neutral. We don't do the prospecting or anything. We feel like, you know, we've all earned our titles. And if anybody's interested in anything like that, they can get at me on Instagram or whatever, you know, like we've got members in all kinds of states and everything like that. So, I'm just trying to, you know, have the camaraderie, and our mission with that is to help veterans and first responders deal with the day-to-day struggles that we deal with. So that's kind of what that is. And I appreciate y'all having me.
Oh, absolutely. That is awesome. Peterson, did you want to pick his brain?
I want to be part of it. That's
Okay.
And Caleb, make sure you send me in our text thread an address. I'll send you a WP3 patch, because that's what needs to happen.
Cool,
And
man.
so
Yeah.
and let me know what I need to do to get involved with your writers group, and I'm in.
All right, dude. Yeah. I'll let you know.
The way you said the songs I make up. I love it. The songs I make up.
Yeah.
Yours, you own them and they tell the story. That's the best piece.
We all
Great.
ride Indian motorcycles, right?
Oh,
That's fine. We don't, as long as it's over 750.
shoot, then I'm out. Dang.
Danny, that cuts you out, brother. Danny's got that foot powered bike.
Yeah,
Oh.
he is. But
Well, I had a motorcycle once and I had to give it up. I kept on forgetting to do what I needed to do to stop, and I kept going through stop signs. I figured, well, I guess I wasn't cut out for this.
it's not going to be safe anymore. Yeah. Any last thoughts, Frank? I know I mean, you kind of picked their brains already, but what else have you got there? Frank, our author, you must have some amazing stuff up here.
Well, I'll leave the way I always leave. And God bless all of our veterans and those currently serving our country in the armed forces and their families.
And that is amazing. God bless. Whew. So that makes it my turn, and that's a weird part of being in charge of the show. Boom. I'm going to steal a little bit of Josh's wisdom. We do have a little phrase that we use all the time because we had a friend out in California that had a podcast as well, and he's always like, let's go. And we changed it into let's grow. Because, I mean, we started out, we wanted to get the awareness out there, and we wanted to help through awareness and make everybody else aware. And one day I was like, I'm so sick of this. I know there are people out there that still need to figure it out and be aware and be reminded. But shoot, we've been doing it for years. Let's get our boots on the ground. Let's go stop some of the madness and get out in people's faces and make them start helping. It's great that they're aware, but what else are they doing, right? And so Josh said, when we suffer together, that's where we grow together. And I guess, I mean, I was being a little crabby about it, but really what I want is for people to be on board. I want them to understand I'm the only civilian in the room. But I feel that through listening and learning, I don't know how things make you feel, but I can really understand the pieces and parts that go with it. And so people like me because I listen well, I guess. Not my husband, but everybody else on earth. I think I listen well. So thanks. Anyway, but thank you guys all for coming on the show. The Freedom Ops endeavor, and I apologize, I put the wrong word. I was thinking endeavor and I typed adventure, but Freedom Ops endeavor, be watching for that nonprofit popping up. It will be there, and Caleb's music will be sharing on WP3 Radio. Thank you for sharing your music, and we took you back. Sorry, we took you way back on that last song, but that was awesome. And then we come on tomorrow at 4:30 Central Time. Talk about us a little bit, but we do kind of go all through the show again. So you guys will be, we'll be watching for your stuff, and we will share. And you are welcome to share on any of our pages as well. Anything you want, new music, new songs, announcements, events coming up. When you're passing by Frank, please let him know. Throw it on our page, and we'll all keep an eye out. Actually, we've got a team out in North Carolina. I think I saw that on your page, Danny. And Josh, you have an event in North Carolina coming up.
But we have a Freedom Ops event, on October 5th in Cary, North Carolina.
There it is. And we're going to make sure that I don't know how close that is to them, but they like to go to events. So
great.
We'll throw them out to our part of the team out there. So thanks again for being here tonight. I do just want to, we do have next week's guest, and I don't want to say his name wrong. Chaz Kranak and Kelly Daniels will be on the show next week with us. Peterson made those connections. That was not me being creepy on Facebook this time. So Peterson will know these. Frank, did I message you on Facebook and say, hey, you'd be a great guest on the show? I think that's how we got you on the show the first time.
Okay.
I think I said, oh, you're an author. Let's get you to share your stuff. And he's so agreeable. We brought him back. So, all right, guys, I am just going to close out with our closing. You're welcome to stick around for a minute if you have time. We can debrief a little bit. If you've got to go, we understand. So we will sign out. Peterson, anything?
We're good. Golden. Let's go.
Oh, my
Let's
gosh.
go.
I don't know how to do it. Hang on. Here we go. I think this is it. Nope, that's not it. Okay, let me press another button. I don't know what I just.